The year is 2013, and I've been up all night playing video games once again. This time it was different though. I was doing it with friends. We all sat around our TVs with our cheap headsets, laughing, yelling, and trash-talking strangers we were fighting on the internet. We were on our third win streak, and we couldn't really end it on a streak. You don't stop a good thing. But we also couldn't end the night on a loss. That'd be just, ending on a sour note. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But that was our weekly ritual for months, because we just got the latest Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, and it was fire. We were all longtime fans of the series since Call of Duty 4, but this one was something different. This one grabbed us like no other, and even a year after its release, it didn't let us go. We were playing this well into the next Call of Duty release, and we would always return back to it, until we all moved on to our Xbox Ones. Well, we did play the heck out of Black Ops 2. Search and destroy, trash talking, or having fun joking around with other people, and Search always brought out the characters. People with weird playstyles, trash talkers, friendly people, funny people, and trolls all got together, and it was fun. Who cares if you died at the start of the round, because now you get to sit in the lobby and chat while watching your friend get annihilated because of the nastiest throwing axe bounce shot from across the map. I've been playing games like Call of Duty ever since, except Infinite Warfare and the newest one because, it sucks. None of them have managed to really bring back what I loved about Black Ops 2. I even still think about returning back to it, putting in my Black Ops 2 disc and going back and playing it, and you still can, but there's not as many people playing it anymore, and my friends don't play it anymore, but there's something new that is catching my interest. So it's really weird that the closest thing for me now is a Roblox game, right? Weird Gun Game isn't a perfect replacement for all these late night game sessions full of trash talk, especially since we can't talk to 75% of the players and no one's typing while playing a shooter. There is definitely other Roblox games that play much closer to Call of Duty as well too. But it does capture the weird builds, the crazy attachments, the experimentation, and it makes everything feel so much more fresh by being so much more obscure than Call of Duty would ever do. Once you're playing with friends over voice, then it really gets to be fun, especially if your friends get put on the other team, and you both are in an endless arms race of trying to beat each other with the weirdest weapons and attachments. Weird Gun Game is a Roblox game where you play popular FPS game modes like Domination, Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, and Free For All. You'll play with your standard kind of weaponry, and as you build up cash, you'll buy attachments and change them out on your weapons of choice. This game is all about the guns, and, well, now grenades too, that are optional since they're a recent addition and you have to pay with your in-game money to restock your grenades, which is really silly. But no kill streaks, just you, your gun, and plenty of targets. I mean players to shoot at, players. But it plays incredibly similar to an older Call of Duty. If you think modern Call of Duties are too fast and twitchy, then this is worth checking out, as it's paced much more closely to Black Ops 2. Similar times to kill, lots of weapon variety, and gameplay that doesn't come with a Ritalin prescription. It also helps that no one can hit the barn side of a broad in this game. It's pure action, pure gun skill, and pure fun. You'll never have to worry about hitting a dude and him instantly turning into a chateau or a villa. It's awesome, and I love it, of course. There are plenty of other shooters out there on Roblox, and much more popular ones like Hypershot, but Weird Gun Game scratches an itch nothing else does with its main gimmick, the gun parts. You can change the barrel, grip, stock, sight, receiver, everything on your gun can be swapped out. But you might think you're restricted to only swapping parts from the same gun family. Like you might think you can only use assault rifle parts on your assault rifles, but in reality, any part from any weapon can be attached to your current gun, and they all give you stat boosts. You can use shotgun barrels on SMGs and sniper barrels on assault rifles. It gets weirder still as we can get really wacky parts like the Freedom Dispenser barrel, a barrel shaped like a screeching eagle. How patriotic. A slot machine attachment which randomizes gun performance, and a croissant grip that improves recoil control somehow. It's called Weird Gun Game for a reason, and there's a lot of weird and a lot of gun. There's one game. How it works is that your gun receiver, called core in this game, influences how much the gun fires. An assault rifle receiver is typically going to have a very well-rounded performance, high damage with high recoil, or low damage with high accuracy and fire rate. They're good at most ranges and most reliable for most scenarios, but all the other parts will influence the stats. Some gun categories pair their stats together well, and you'll receive the full stat bonuses from each part. Some categories don't and will only give a portion of their stats. This is how the parts are balanced out. But your receiver, or your core, affects your gun's behaviors. If you want shotgun pellets and stuff like that, if you want buckshot, then you need to have a shotgun core. If you want to have assault rifle style gameplay, you need the assault rifle core. If you want close range automatic weapons, you want to use the SMG core, the marksman rifle core, and the sniper cores, different cores that perform differently. But then it's the parts that change the behaviors of the gun further by influencing how fast it fires. You can even make it so that your assault rifle fires more than one bullet at a time. At first, you might decide to stick with guns that are in the same family, but as you get more steel and weird coins, you'll get a larger reserve of parts. Then you'll start mixing, matching, maybe fine-tuning your killing machine, or choosing just the weirdest combination possible. Either way, you'll be having a blast, and with each match, the urge to experiment and try weirder stuff grows. It's awesome. And it's just so much fun going on a massive streak while playing with a weapon you wouldn't even consider usable. One of my favorite guns is just something that is so incredibly weak at long distances, but I still use it because it's incredibly accurate. It does 8 damage at its maximum range, so it takes almost a full magazine to get one kill, but it is accurate the whole time, and I love it for that. For me, the most fun I had was randomizing my part choices by just picking random stuff and seeing what kind of weird combos I could do. Since this is a shooter though, gun stats are only part of the story. Your personal skill, playstyle, and ability to adapt can make some of these stupid combos shine, and if not, you'll at least have a blast playing with something silly and new that you just can't really experience in any other game. For example, the Halo-themed assault rifle is pretty bad. Medium damage, high fire rate, boosts your health, all of that's pretty great on paper. But then you get in and the recoil makes it impossible to use, and it has a long reload speed, and it's just terrible. A lot of my fun early on was just trying to make this gun work with various attachments while not sacrificing the bonuses that I care about. But no matter what I did, I couldn't get the Master Chief Rifle parts to work well. It was still a fun learning process though. Also, this isn't some game that I'm new to either. I played it a lot last year, but I only started making Roblox videos recently, so I have an excuse to talk about Weird Gun Game now. There has been some updates since I last played though, like more parts, a leveling system, which is definitely going to make me play more, grenades, pistols, secondary weapons, and some quality of life updates like the ability to buy the whole gun at once instead of part by part. The microtransactions in this game are pretty minor too. As far as I can tell, everything can be earned through gameplay. Even cosmetics like skins can be earned through loot boxes you get just for being in the game. You don't even have to play, just being in the game earns you loot boxes. But if you want to support the dev, there are a plethora of options that are all way better priced than anything from Activision, while also being way cooler. Purchasing is optional though, as steel and weird coins are unlocked at a pretty good pace. And it's really easy to pick up and play this game. You'll be in and out of it all the time. You can hop in, play a whole match, or not even play a whole match, and then just get some rewards and get out. So you can squeeze some gameplay into like any parts of your day. If you got like 10 minutes before school or work, you got time for a match. One last thing before I wrap up though, the maps are all pretty good. There's a lot of variety in each of the maps, but they all have sections that are better suited to specific gun ranges. There are small arena areas like for close combat, long sight lines for snipers, and a good amount of cover, places to hide, and buildings. I wouldn't say any map is specifically for any one kind of gun aside from the factory map, which greatly favors assault rifles and snipers, but for the most part you can use whatever you want and it won't hurt your gameplay much, and there are multiple loadout slots if you decide you want to swap between guns a bunch. There is a bit of a control issue for me though. I remember being able to play this with my controller on PC, but for some reason it causes lag and stuttering now. But it stopped being an issue once I plugged in my crusty AF Xbox 360 wired controller, so controller compatibility might just vary from controller to controller. My final thoughts on this game is that it's really good, and it can only get better the more they add, and they are still adding stuff. 4.5 out of 5 stars, honestly. I'm glad that an experience like this exists, as it's very modern yet somehow feels like a time capsule of the early 2010s. When I got on it, it only had 1,000 players, and I'm not throwing shade at Hypershot or anything, but I think Weird Gun Game deserves at least as many players as that did at the time that I was playing, 15,000. But, you know, it is 4 a.m., so you know, maybe just a bad time to be looking for games. But this is a peak Roblox game, as it's reminiscent of other non-Roblox games, but has that sort of creativity that you can only find on the platform. A lot of Roblox games copy other games, and they don't try to steer too far off from that game. When they copy it exactly. They don't do too much original. It's the best Roblox games that try to make something original while still working with parts from other games, like Hypershot and Dandy's World and stuff like that. This is an example of a Roblox game that I could show someone and say, this is why I play Roblox, and they'd be like, oh, I get it. Go play it. Seriously, right now. Whatever you're doing probably isn't half as fun as Weird Gun Game is. Or if you're seeing this in the future, you could see if I'm live right now. I'm live on this channel at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays, unless I changed my schedule recently. Either way, thanks for watching, and thanks to the supporters on Patreon and members on YouTube. Because of them, I get to find cool games like this for you to check out. Thanks again to Gezro, Am, Nebazi, Aspirin Artist, Paper, Faye Penguin, Momentary Unicorn, Aurora the Puppy Moth, Nat, Marius, Yini, Worm Syrup, Brask, Beeve, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Addy14, The Ace with No Trace, Spikejack, Rask again, Willie Pete, TG Dante, Linky again, and Malting Brick. I'll see y'all later. I have to go wreak havoc on some lobbies. Bye.